Hello and welcome to Bottom Line. Well, the talk of the nation at the moment is whether the lockdown will be extended beyond April 14th. Will it be partially relaxed? Will there be a phase-wise relaxation? Will interstate transport be resumed, or there would be no looking back till the 30th of April as far as the lockdown is concerned? A lot of speculations are going on, but nothing concrete has come out. The government has not given out an official word till now. While a couple of states have already decided to extend the lockdown on their own, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today, as per reports, dropped a subtle hint that the lockdown may be extended. Nothing sure as of now. Lockdown may be extended. Having said that, the economic ramifications will also need to be taken into account, and that is the bigger concern. That's why this huddles, these meetings. Today he met parliamentarians. On the 11th, the Prime Minister will again have a video conferencing with the chief ministers of all the states. So will the government take the middle path, or will it be forced to take a hard decision again? That is the big question that everyone is asking. To carry the discussion forward, I'm being joined by senior journalist Pramod Tiwari in our studios in Guwahati. Rajkumar Sharma of the Assam BJP is also joining us live from Guwahati. A very warm welcome to both of you. In the course of discussion, senior journalist Sushant Talukdar will also join me from Guwahati. Meanwhile, we have John Thaba, the General Secretary of MEPA, Meghalaya Editors and Publishers Association, who will be joining me from Shillong in a short while from now. We'll also connect over the phone with Professor Prasanjit Biswas of NEHU and Sajid Ali, senior journalist Tripura, in due course of the discussion. I will first come to Pramod Tiwari in the studios. Pramod Tiwari, there is a lot of speculation going on right now whether or not the lockdown will be extended. But to be very honest, probably the decision will depend on how things shape up probably in the next few days.
No, the thing is that the purpose of the lockdown has not yet served. You see, the curve is going up. When the curve will settle, the government will take a decision on lockdown. On 14th or 15th, what I think that government will take a middle path. Will ease out some restrictions on, especially on agricultural sector and on movement of goods, but the lockdown, I don't think that it will be over on 14th or 15th.
May not be over on
because you see, every day 400, 500 new cases are coming up to 30th or 31st of March. The speed was not that high, but now 400, 500 to 600 new cases are coming up daily. So in this situation, it will not be prudent on the part of the government to ease out the restrictions imposed on the movement of goods and people. So I don't think the lockdown will over on 14th or 15th, it will continue, but government may, to see the economic ramifications of the lockdown, ease out certain restrictions on the agricultural activities, what I suppose, and some other imported activities, but lockdown will continue.
All right, Rajkumar Sharma, everybody is speculating what will happen post April 14th. What are your observations, and do you think the government should be ready for more hard decisions, seeing the current the scenario? We cases are increasing by the day. Yes, things are under control because the government had gone for massive preparedness. But do you think we should be ready for hard decisions?
Navarun, I'm not able to hear your voice clearly.
Okay.
Hello.
What I'm saying is, should the nation be ready for more hard decisions as far as the lockdown is concerned?
Navarun, whatever I have understood from your voice, whether the government should take hard decision or not. If you are hearing my voice, then I would like to speak on this subject. See, the number of cases are increasing day by day. Bombay, Maharashtra, then Tamil Nadu, then Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, even Rajasthan and UP. Every day, every now and then, there are number of cases are increasing. Thank God, in Assam we are very safe. Only we have got 28 cases. So I'm expecting that this lockdown should be extended beyond 14th of April, and government should take hard decision. Otherwise, this disease will increase if it increase in community, then it will be very hard to handle. I believe so. So like Punjab government, like Telangana government has already requested central government to extend the date of lockdown to 30th April. Even the Telangana has requested for up to 3rd June. I think Assam government will also look into this matter with certain relaxation. This model of UP can be implemented in Assam, where UP government has, for 15 districts, UP government has taken a decision to continue with lockdown, and in certain districts, the UP government will be relaxing to certain extent. So I believe that Assam government will apply the same model, but then the present situation in Assam is not very comfortable situation. The number of cases have increased because of the Tablighi Jamaat. Otherwise, Assam could have been sit with a very peaceful mind.
No, again, Pramod Tiwari, let's not get into that. I mean, cases are cases. Probably we have to deal with it. Yes, there was an event which should not have happened, but again, it has happened now, and I think even the Assam government, the state health minister, and even the Prime Minister, everyone has made categorically clear that this disease doesn't see any community, and that is something that we have to stick to. But I'm sure all the state governments may be looking at some sort of relaxations. What could they be to start with? Probably they will not allow interstate movement transport as far as interstate transport is concerned, but as far as Assam is concerned, will intrastate within the state will they consider allowing plying of vehicles? For instance, Meghalaya has decided that post April 14 they will allow private vehicles to ply on the road. Now they can take this decision because there is not a single case so far, and given the number of days since when the state has been under lockdown, it is highly unlikely that they may have another case because nobody is coming from outside. But again, Assam is a big state with a population of over 3 crores, so Assam's situation is a bit complicated. Under these circumstances, even do you think the government will allow intrastate within the state movement of transport?
I don't think the government will allow the interstate transport because you see there are contradictions. On one hand, government is talking about Bhilwara model, how they tackled the entire situation. That is a very, very difficult model because it is very difficult to contain 26 lakh population, go to every house and then check everybody. On one hand, they are talking about the Bhilwara model because the curve is going up and up. Until and unless the curve will flatten, government cannot give any relaxation that is
but
for
probably
sure.
the time has not come for the Bhilwara model in Assam so far. I mean,
I am
Bhilwara
not talking
model
about Assam, I am talking about pan India.
Pan India. Okay.
Pan India. And again, you see, Assam government has categorically said that whatever decision central government will take, we will obey, we will respect that decision. Thirdly, many state governments has requested central government to extend the lockdown beyond the deadline of 15th or 14th April. Because the cases are going up, people are still, the level of awareness is not that much, still people are showing ignorance towards this disease. You see in Guwahati when the vegetable vendors comes, long queues are there, no social distancing, nothing. So under the circumstances, I don't think that there will be relaxation at least for 1 week after 14th, but and again the lockdown will not be lifted once, it will be one by one. They will lift the restrictions one by one. First they may lift the restrictions on the agricultural activities because the monsoon is coming. Then they will lift the restrictions on the within state movement of transport. Then thirdly you can go for the interstate transport. Phase wise they will lift. Again education sector is also there. The academic session was about to start when lockdown was clamped. CBSE is talking about digital classes, but the state boards are not that equipped. So in education sector also government will have to take some call. So there are lot of problems, economic ramifications are there. If lockdowns
absolutely
go long, then there will be problem on the economic front also. The government have to tackle a lot of, they will have to work on a lot of fronts. Let us see what happens. because there are experts who can give a better idea on all these things.
Absolutely. Taking the economic ramifications part into account, Rajkumar Sharma, I'm sure, yes, everybody wants that strict measures should be in place, but then there are also economic considerations. So, if you would want to see the government relax, say some aspects of the lockdown, what would that be? Okay, we need to fix the audio there. In the meantime, I'll go to Sushanta Talukdar if we are connected to Sushanta Talukdar. Yes. Sushanta Talukdar, welcome. Well, this is a very critical time. It's perhaps the perfect to do or not to do kind of a situation as far as the lockdown is concerned. The numbers are rising, but again, there is an expectation that the government may be forced to take a call on the lockdown. But what would happen, nobody knows till now. A decision will be taken, but these are critical times and hard decisions have to be taken. What do you have to say?
I understand it's a difficult situation for us. I mean, for the government, for the society. I mean, we have to take a decision between lives and the economy. But then health is important, lives are important. We cannot reduce deaths into numbers. Every single life is important for the society and the government. But then we will have to take a decision because in the long run, the situation is going to continue. So, I mean, if people die because of the disease, people may also die because of the slowdown in the economy. So you have to find a balance. How to revive the economy and how to keep the economy going in this situation.
Yeah.
And so I believe the government needs to invite suggestion from the general public. People may come up with organic ideas. Like, I mean, even if, suppose we may visualize a situation where the lockdown is extended for another 21 days, fine. So what after 21 days? Even then, we may not have the solution to the treating the virus. We may not have a vaccine. So we may still have to live the lockdown and then revive the normal life. But then, so we have to look at how are we going to cope with the new situation. I mean, physical distancing will become a part of our way of life. We do not know for how long.
Yes.
So then probably, I mean, initially maybe the idea could be that restaurants may be kept closed, eating places could be closed so that to discourage people from meeting and then passing on the virus to each other. But then we can ask the restaurants and the dining places to redesign the sitting space, or maybe you can advise them to keep enough cloth-made mask ready so that anyone comes in without a mask is offered a mask. And then, so this period may be utilized in this planning those things. So, and I also think that the educational institutions like IITs, engineering institutions, universities, institution of higher educations, all this can be requested to come up with the solution that how to maintain the physical distance. I mean, it's called social distance in in terms of the COVID, but then how to maintain that physical distance
Everybody has to
of 1 meter or 6 feet in day-to-day life. Maybe yes, when we are talking of keeping the educational institution closed for say another 3-4 months, 2-3 months, we are visualizing such a situation because it's difficult to impose or introduce the idea of social distancing in the educational institution. So government is trying to, or the society is trying to cope with the situation by social distance education mode. But then we also have to keep in mind that there are a lot of students who do not have the access to internet. So how do we cope up with that situation? How do we include those students who do not have any access to the internet facilities? The panchayats have to be roped in. The autonomous councils have to rope in. The administrations in the hill districts have to be roped in. And similarly for the same markets. Now you cannot keep the markets closed for months and months altogether. You have to keep open the market.
Absolutely.
But also we have to maintain the physical distance so that the virus can spread. So in the rural markets, rural weekly huts, it can be easily implemented.
So basically,
I mean, you can always keep erect bamboo barricades. I mean, we can come up with
yeah,
good
basically a
designs
long-term
also.
plan. Basically a
And we can
long-term
invite,
plan
some
is
ideas
what
from
is
the public
required.
who may come up with organic
Basically a
ideas.
long-term plan is what is required. Rajkumar Sharma, yes, you mentioned that yes, the government has to take a hard decision, but at the same time, there are also a lot of economic ramifications. It's not just about the economy, it's also about livelihoods. It's also about livelihoods. Somebody, may not have the money to feed himself. Of course, we all know that the government has sanctioned a big relief fund, but in a country like India, again, it's a big challenge to ensure that that fund, that relief reaches the last man. Let's be very honest about it. I mean, we all can agree on that. So post April 14th, if there should be some sort of relaxation somewhere, which areas you think personally that should be relaxed or something can be worked out? Because we need to live with this now. This is not ending on April 14th. This may not end by October 14th as well, the way things are now. So we have to gradually relax a few things.
See, now you have to understand one thing, and other panelists has to understand one thing. Right now, the major focus for India government is how to save the life of people of India. Economy condition of India is already this COVID-19 has already damaged Indian economic conditions. Because see, I think it will take at least 1 year to revive the whole economy if everything goes smoothly. See, if Assam government is opening on 14, but if Bihar doesn't open, or the Bengal doesn't open, or the UP doesn't open, the market will not start functioning properly. Yeah, intra-state market can start, that the Guwahati market can be started, or the Tripura can be started. But ultimately, when we talk about the economic condition of state and the economic condition of India, the whole India is connected with each other state. Like we are importing a lot of things from Gujarat, we are importing a lot of things from Maharashtra also, from UP also. But if UP is closed, then apart from the essential item, nothing will reach Assam. So ultimately, I think it will take what has happened. If after 30th April market is open, people will having a fear psychosis in their mind that they will whether they will come out in market.
But can we at least ensure that the local produce that's being produced in the Assam's villages, at least we find some way or the other to ensure that those reach the market without violating the social distancing norms? Should that be in place at least?
Navarun, see, you have to understand one thing. In Assam, what we produce rice. We produce little bit vegetables in lower Assam side. If you are dependent on the pulses from outside Assam only, government is trying for the essential commodity item, but the economy cannot be revived only on the essential commodities. Once we are talking about economy, if the whole market is open all over India, then it will take at least 1 year, because the shortfall in budget of government has to stop lot of projects, government investment capacity will be reduced, spending capacity of state will be reduced, everything. This COVID-19 has damaged lot of things, and I believe that there will be very poor condition in economy as for India, because the tax collection will be reduced. People are not able to pay the tax because of the closure of market. There is no it will be very bad shape, what I believe, for next 1 year. However, but then the best part of this government is government has taken more priority on the human life in compared to economy. See, like US and other country, their situation is very worse today. They considered economy is more important than human life. So they are suffering, like US is suffering, Italy is suffering, Spain is suffering. But our government has given more value to the human life than the economy. Economy will revive today or tomorrow, but the major priority in front of government is how to save the maximum life. Thanks God, today after almost 1 month, we have touched around 5,000 or 5,500 patients. After that, good amount is recovery also. So by 30th April, I believe the whole over India, the position will be very strong. and we should next consider about economy after the whole market is open.
All right, Rajkumar Sharma, thank you so much for your perspective on this. Well, we have Sajid Ali over the phone joining us from Agartala. Sajid Ali, senior journalist from Tripura. Sajid Ali, welcome to Northeast Live. Well, the first COVID-19 case in Tripura was detected day before yesterday. Over 30 people have been placed under quarantine. And of course, contact tracing efforts are underway on war footing. But today again, Sajid Ali, there was a sort of demonstration of sorts outside the government hospital in Agartala, where the medical staff have been saying that yes, they are facing a bit of a shortage of the necessary safety equipment. Well, this is the first case in Tripura, and the government ought to gear up from day one. Yes, the government is taking steps. Contact tracing is underway on war footing. It has reached out, quarantined people, sealed the vicinity, has done everything. But again, we are not questioning the government. But again, don't you think the basic equipment also have to be made available? Yes, there is a crisis all across, but that's how we have to manage.
Yeah, I mean, Tripura has been fifth state in Northeast India to have a COVID-19 case. Detection, as you mentioned, detection was, through proper test. It was done on Monday evening. So after that, all sort of quarantine and other protocol was followed, and so far contact tracing is concerned. I mean, it has almost done, and people are either quarantined. They have been sent to institutional quarantine facilities, or areas have been filled to block people. To prevent their movement. So that has been the measure on part of the administration so far. So apart from that, there has not been any other detection of infection in Tripura. And as far as today's event of what you have mentioned in your introduction, that there was a demonstration. Actually, some nursing staff of government GBP hospital, which is the main reference.
Have we lost? We seem to have lost the connection there. We'll try to connect once again with Sajid Ali. Pramod Tiwari, what we have seen in Assam, we must say a dynamic health minister leading from the front, visiting medical colleges, hospitals from morning 6 to 11, 12, midnight. You'll find him active. Probably that has also, I'm not questioning any authority here, probably that has also kept the entire state, entire infrastructure on its toes, and that has not been visible in other northeast states. Now, some may say, okay, there are 28 cases in Assam, so that's that. But no, even before a single case was recorded, Assam was gearing up for massive capacity building measures. Other northeast states definitely have something or the other to learn maybe in this, as far as Assam, the way Assam has prepared itself.
We are fortunate enough to have Himanta Biswa Sarma as our health minister. He is very dynamic leader, and we see he has plan A, plan B, plan C for all the eventualities. And of course, the other states of the regions should learn a lesson from how our system in Assam is working. That is all right. One more thing I am telling you, that whatever government of India has sanctioned for the poor, below poverty line people, everyone is getting rice in the rural areas, they are getting vegetables, but the sufferer, who are the sufferers? Sufferers are the petty small retailers. Sufferers are those who are engaged in the unorganized sectors. They are yet to get something from the state. I know the people, lot of people in the rural area of Assam, those who are working in Guwahati in the unorganized sector, they are getting nothing. Because the village headman thinks that they are rich enough, they should not get all these things, they are not having a BPL card. So those people are feeling the heat of the lockdown. So through your channel, I would like to appeal to the government of Assam that the government should have a mechanism to reach to those people.
Absolutely.
The people who are working in the organized, unorganized sector
But yes,
and the
yes,
small traders.
see, the problem is that the distribution system is not easy. Logistically, there are a lot of challenges, and as we have seen, the distribution
But I
has
told you
been,
that our dynamic leader has plan A, plan B, plan C in place. He has got all the plans. So at least he can think about those people, because they are facing the heat, they are feeling the heat.
Absolutely, the government is also working on distribution. That has also been a priority, and we'll try and connect with Sajjad Ali once again. In the meantime, we'll have to take a very short break here. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching Bottom Line. We are discussing the lockdown scenario. Meanwhile, I'm being joined over the phone again from Agartala by senior journalist Sajjad Ali. Sajjad Ali, I was asking you that at a time when Tripura had just recorded its first COVID-19 case, today there was a demonstration of sorts at the Agartala government hospital. The medical staff saying that they need more equipment, more safety kits. Is the government looking into it, sir?
Yeah, I was just trying to make speak about this when that line got disconnected. That some nursing staff, they spoke to newsmen, claiming that there has been shortage of some essential protective stuffs like PPE, gloves, and masks. Actually, these nurses. Hello?
Yes, go ahead. I can hear you.
Oh, yeah, sorry. These nursing staffs are essentially from general wards. And they became a bit scared after detection of first infection in the state. And out of that fear, they've spoken about shortage and everything. But so far, the designated, units are concerned where COVID-19 patients are supposed to be kept for their remedy. In that unit, if I can talk about GPP hospital, that all, doctors, paramedics, and other medical staff, they are provided with PPE and other, essential, protective, stuff as per protocol. So there is no such doubt in dealing with COVID-19 patients in designated units of the either referral hospital at GPP hospital or in major hospitals in the districts. So these nursing staff, they are basically from general wards.
Which is fine. Which is fine, but we have had the first case. We pray that the number doesn't increase. Contact tracing is underway. People have been put under quarantine. But isn't it also the time to have equipment in place? More. Even we have to test more people. Sample testing. More people will come. Eventually, the equipment, the safety kits would be required. So, don't you still think this serves as a wake-up call still for the government? As far as procuring more kits is concerned? Just asking for your perspective.
Yeah, definitely. It's a wake-up call for the government, for all those who are involved in containment of the, COVID-19 in state of Tripura. And today I can tell you, this afternoon, the Chief Minister, who is also holding the health portfolio, he held a high-level meeting. He chaired the high-level meeting where he reviewed all the issues concerning present health crisis in the state. And I had a talk with a senior health department official who said that yes, they have not yet in a position. They are not in a position to supply basic requirements to all the medical staff in government hospitals and clinics. Across the state. But they are trying to, supplies have arrived. Day before yesterday by cargo flight, and more will come. So within a few days, things will be in proper shape, and there will be no dearth of essential protective stuff. And I think it's a fight. To the nail. You cannot just compromise.
Absolutely.
With this issue. It's a very complicated issue, and where human beings in danger. So the government is taking all sort of initiatives to procure things which were left out. And today's I should not term it as a protest. Whatever grievance they have made it to public through newsmen, I think the government should take serious
Absolutely.
note of that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sajid Ali, for your perspective on that. Thank you so much for joining us. If I can go back to Sushanta Talukdar. So basically, Sushanta Talukdar, what you have been saying is that, the lockdown probably cannot extend for months, but we need to rethink almost everything, redesign our approach to life, our daily activities, which include economic activities. Every aspect has to be redesigned. But how practical is it? Of course, we can't take a lockdown forever, that is understood. But can we pull it off? As you have been saying, we have to learn to live with social distancing norms for the next few months and do things in sync with the current way of life, the way of life that this virus has forced on us. But how practical is it?
Exactly, but we have already started doing it. In the educational sector, we have already started doing. In fact, I believe most of the educational institutions they have started doing it through the using internet and the digital platform. But then yes, I have a worry that it should be inclusive. We should also have to think of those students who do not have access to internet. So in other, it's also like. We have some, the social behavior in public platform. We have some of the best states in the northeastern states like Mizoram. Mizoram has already showcased its example, how to maintain and discipline manner you can keep the life go on. So we have seen how, and I don't believe this, the police raj, beating people, you cannot make people aware on health. You have to use the police force in motivating the people in building the awareness. If someone has come out, someone has violated the imposed norms, the idea should be to motivate the people, and the idea should be to generate an awareness on the health situation. You can always ask the person who has violated the lockdown and then ask him to return home with a leaflet, and so that he or she may go back home with getting enlightened and why he or she should not violate the lockdown or maintain this physical distance of 6 feet or 1 meter. So these are basically, health is an awareness. It cannot be imposed. It cannot be treated as a law and order issue. We have seen police beating people here and there all over the state.
They have their own
issues.
And
the country. But I think the incidence of police beating is less in other northeastern states compared to Assam. So we have to take example from the
population
people,
is also large in Assam.
Yes, role model the states
not justifying
which have been able to the sync with this new situation.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm taking the example. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I am being joined by Dr. Prasanjit Biswas, Professor Nehu over the phone from Shillong. Dr. Biswas, the talk of the nation right now is that whether or not the government will extend the lockdown. You have been following the issue. You have also pointed out at numerous figures on how the lockdown has impacted the economy so far. Sushanta Talukdar, senior journalist who has joined me live from Guwahati, says that it's not possible probably to extend the lockdown for very long, but we have to learn to live with the social distancing norms that has to be part of our daily life. Do you think that approach needs to be taken at this juncture?
Yeah, lockdown does not resolve the virus problem, one has to understand. Rather, as one molecular biologist, very important, I think, most prominent molecular biologist of India, Professor Partho Roy, has pointed out that lockdown actually it takes back the virus inside the homes and it infects families in large number. Therefore, lockdown doesn't really resolve the issue of virus. Therefore, what is the way out? The way out must be testing, which is not happening at this moment. So lockdown has not created enough medical facility, and there is a gap between lockdown and the required medical facility. Apart from that, lockdown has already created massive unemployment. Every day we are losing per day $6 billion trade and economic exchange. And if we calculate it over 21 days, it's a huge loss. Such a fiscal loss cannot be borne by the state or the private sector. So we are moving towards an irreparable situation of economic loss. Therefore, lockdown has to be graded, it has to be concentrated in the hotspots. And as Niti Aayog Vice Chairman has just pointed out in one of his mails, he says that 400 districts are unaffected by lockdown, unaffected by the viral transmission. Therefore, there is no question of having lockdown on these 400 districts. Rather, there are 72 or 73 districts where there is this impact of virus. They are locked down, that too in a graded way, so that the supply chain is not destroyed, so that people do not lose their livelihood and economic resources. By keeping all this in mind, the medical emergency needs to be met and lockdown cannot be blanket anymore. That's the established opinion.
All right, point taken. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Biswas, for your perspective. I'm being joined now from Shillong by John Taba, General Secretary, MEPA, and senior journalist. John Taba, at a time when a couple of states in the country have already extended the lockdown, of course, they have a number of cases there, so they have done that. The Meghalaya cabinet, meanwhile, has already announced relaxation in norms starting April 15th. How is this call being received by the people of the state? What are your views, John Taba?
Actually, the decision by the cabinet, by the state cabinet, is a welcome decision actually, because for the last 15 days, we have seen that Meghalaya has not been affected by the coronavirus or the COVID-19. So the state government also has imposed stringent measures to prevent the entry of people from outside, in order to ensure that the infection doesn't come to Meghalaya. So the state government also has conducted testing of some suspected people, but all these tests that have been conducted, they have shown that no infection was there in these people. So I can say that Meghalaya has been free from the virus so far. So based on these things, the state cabinet has decided that it is time to give some relaxations from the lockdown. The relaxation in the form of movement by private vehicles, and then movement from one district to another in the state, and also reopening of the weekly village markets. So I would also like to mention here that the reopening of the village markets also is very much needed, because the people during the lockdown period, they have suffered a lot in terms of the economy. Most of the farmers, they could not sell their produce in the big market in Shillong. So the only choice for them now is to find a place to sell their produce in their local markets, and this in a way will help these people, the farmers and all, to get some kind of relief.
Absolutely. But again, but again, John Taba,
21 days of lockdown.
Yeah. But again, if there is considerable relaxation in Meghalaya, we also know that Assam has 28 cases so far, and Meghalaya shares a long interstate border with Assam. So movement on the Meghalaya side, this may also lead to interstate interaction in certain areas, especially Garo Hills and part of Khasi Hills, where villages on either side of the border have regular contacts. So are proper measures being put in place, being adopted to monitor that situation?
Absolutely, you're right. There are apprehensions as soon as the state cabinet decided to reopen the village markets, there were apprehensions among people that there may be some movement along the borders. I mean, because we know that people from Assam used to come to the village markets in Meghalaya, especially in Garo Hills and some parts of West Khas Hills, to do the tradings and all this. So, but then yesterday the Chief Minister has clarified that in these markets, no traders from Assam, neither the shoppers also will be allowed to enter into these markets, and that the markets will be run and operated only by the local people, and no people from outside will be allowed to enter. So this somehow provides us some kind of feeling of security in a way. But then that depends on how the government acts, on the ground when these local markets are open.
Well, Sushanta Talukdar, if I can go back to Sushanta Talukdar, again, some states are already extending. At least 2 states have already extended the lockdown on their own. Some states, meanwhile, are requesting the centre to go ahead and extend the lockdown. Also, there is a growing call for a phase-wise relaxation. Who do you think is best suited to take a call on the way forward from here, taking both the health and economic aspects into consideration?
We have to take give top priority to the advisories given by the doctors, the health ministry, health department. No, certainly because lives are important. So we cannot impose our ideas on them. They are the best people to decide the exact situation in a particular state of the country. I mean, but then we have to be innovative. If they have explained the situation to us, then we should try to innovate ideas where we can also keep some of the economic activities go on. I mean, like say the procurement of the food, essential supplies. I mean, it can give both benefit to the local farmers, local producers, and we can create a local supply chain within the village, within the district, where the farmers' produce can be transported or distributed in the local nearby villages, so that instead of allowing the vegetables and to rot on the fields, in the farmland, they can be at least channeled to the distribution channel, so that the farmers can also get money, some money, so that it is again that not the burden can be reduced on the government exchequer of supporting the farmer families with the free rations for long, so that and then you also make it sure that the people within the area get the local supplies. The rice, for example, when you can procure the surplus rice from the farmers and distribute it to the areas where it is needed. So we have to innovate ideas where we can keep the minimal activities of the economy going. Taking into account the advisories given by the health department, health practitioners, the doctors, the researchers, medical researchers, and they are the best just to decide what is good or what is bad. Also we can also focus on the strengthening the public health system within this period. I mean, we cannot wait for the situation to be over. I mean, we have to keep
but ultimately whatever happens, whether the lockdown is extended or not, the onus will still lie with the people of the country to take all possible measures. Even if the lockdown is relaxed partially, I mean, we can't blame the government all the time for taking a certain decision, a hard decision. Whatever decision the government takes, it may be a hard one at times, but people have to cooperate as they have been doing to a great extent. And it is only then possible for us to continue having an upper hand in the battle against COVID-19.
Yeah, but we have seen most of the, in most cases, people are cooperating with whatever the decision the government is taking. I mean, had the people been not cooperated, we haven't been able to achieve so much of result. I mean, at least till now, the lockdown has been observed. I mean, but then yes, the overall health awareness in the country is poor. So we also have to simultaneously focus on creating that awareness. I mean, we cannot expect the people to be overnight aware of the all the diseases, and particularly about the virus, which is very new, where even the doctors all over the world, even the researchers, medical researchers all over the world are still trying to know its behavior and its pattern. So then we always have to give top priority to creating awareness, but not treating it as a law and order issue. I mean, people will, I mean, motivating people to accept the government decisions. They help, they extend cooperations with the government. I mean, certainly, I mean, if somebody is willfully violating it, I mean, even after knowing it, but then we should not assume that people are aware of all these
No,
about the disease and
but then just to
danger it
see,
poses here.
just to cut you here, yes, there have been police excesses, but then the police may say we are short staffed and at times things have to be enforced. Nobody is denying that awareness holds the key, but then probably sometimes even the cops may have their own compulsions.
And I know, but then we have to it's time to do a review. I mean, whether that such measures have helped us in forcing the people to go in, or whether I mean, which works better? Does the use of force works better, or does the? I mean, I could notice that when the news of the someone being affected by the virus in the city, that day I mean, the people are mostly, they had gone inside. They could realize that it could happen to us. So I mean, that's where I mean, I know the compulsions of the police. I mean, and there are some people who are keen on violating it. You know, so they have to be taught relation. I mean, to deny. But then I think the most cases it is
point taken. Pramod Tiwari, we are running short of time. All said and done, what should be the path taken by the government? The middle path probably, yes, we have a situation, we have to contain the pandemic. At the same time, we also have economic compulsions. I would like to call it livelihood compulsions more than economic compulsions. What, as a common man, what is the expectation from the government right now, considering the condition of the poorest of the poor?
No, they are facing a big challenge. There is no doubt about that. But I would like to say that what Professor Sarkar from Shillong has told that Biswas told that 400 districts of India are unaffected by the coronavirus. So we should lift lockdown from those districts at least. But the thing is that on a regular basis, new hot spots are coming up. I am telling time and again, I am telling that the curve is going upward. This sort of relaxations can be taken when once the curve start going down. I am not talking about the flattening of the curve. Let it go down, then we can see that these particular districts or these particular areas are out of the purview of the virus and there is no such infection. Then gradually the government can think of some relaxation in those areas. So far economic activities are concerned, this is not the time to, I do not think that this is time to think about those activities. As our Prime Minister told, Jaan hai to jahan hai.
These are critical times and human lives are more important
than economic
than anything else. Well, that's a wrap of Bottom Line. Thanks for viewing. Thanks everybody. Sushanta Talukdar, Pramod Tiwari, John Thaba for joining me on Bottom Line.